Hello, welcome to your astrology for the week. And this week we're talking about March 7th, 2014 to March 13th, 2014. And as a side note, Jupiter goes direct on March 6th, 2014. So there's going to be a big focus on our faith, our beliefs, and it may be a good time to take a risk that can help you to grow and expand upon whatever it is that you envision for yourself. Basically, any opportunities that can create abundance or learning or expansion of the self. And on March 7th, the moon in Gemini trines Venus in Aquarius. By the way, last week I accidentally said that it trined Mercury in Aquarius, but it didn't actually. It was Venus that trined. So this helps us to communicate our needs in relationships and even in friendships better. So, yeah, and you could even communicate with siblings on this day, and conversations about romance and ideals and the betterment of humanity could come up, and there could even be encounters in your neighborhood or amongst your community where you can try to do those humanitarian causes with them. And then the moon in Gemini squares Neptune in Pisces. This is, of course, going to help us to break free from illusions. It's going to create tensions that will have us notice what those illusions are. And usually it has to do with, maybe the way we think or the way we feel, and things that are unconscious within ourselves that we may not have been aware of until, of course, this square will make us aware of it, helping us to break free from it. But at the same time, it won't necessarily be easy. And then the moon sextiles Uranus and Aries. And this also is going to help us with gaining new insights and also breaking free in a way, maybe from old emotions or ways of thinking. There could be conversations that gave us new insights into our emotions, and just overall learning of sorts, new ideas coming to you. And then the moon squares Chiron in Pisces, and this also is going to be bringing up the old wounds that we need to heal. And at first it may be, it's most likely going to be in our thoughts more, but it'll create tensions within ourselves, forcing us to really face those issues. And then on March 8th, the moon in Gemini squares the sun in Pisces. So this will have us really be shining light on our unconscious minds. We can look into our dreams better and into our subconscious feelings as well. And this, of course, could create some tensions, but it also can help us to really become aware of what we are subconsciously feeling, or what's in our unconscious minds, what's in our dream, where is this, unconscious stream trying to lead us, maybe even. Maybe paying attention to signs, paying attention to words in conversations, paying attention to thoughts that you have. And of course, you want to make sure that you don't get carried away by fantasies too much, or even in your thoughts too much. But if you do notice any unconscious things, then it may be worth taking note of it, as long as you don't get sucked into it. All right, and then the moon in Gemini trines Mercury in Aquarius. And this also is going to be bringing insights into our emotional sphere. A lot of conversations could come up emotional conversations with friends that could be more heartfelt. And, you could even be talking to siblings or having insights through these conversations with friends or siblings. And yeah. And then the moon in Gemini trines Mars in Libra, which is retrograde, by the way. So this brings a lot of energy into intellectual situations and into relationships as well as into siblingships. Relationships with siblings. And then it could also bring a sense of competition to those situations. And it could be fun to do mental games, or competitive and intellectual games. All right, and then March 9th, Moon in Gemini trines the North Node in Libra and sextiles the South Node in Aries. So this is going to have us looking at our relationships, having conversations in our relationships that can help us to overcome, the self-centered thinking. We are going to be able to see both sides of an issue easier and be able to communicate our emotions easier and our needs easier. So it's a great time to have conversations in which you need to maybe, communicate those needs and also to address things that can help bring balance to the situation. And then the moon moves into Cancer. This is going to be moving the day inward more, will be more homebody-like, more likely to nurture our surroundings a little more, take care of our own needs a little more, want to kind of just, nurture ourselves a little more. And it could also be a good time to talk to your family or even just, your immediate family or the family you've built for yourself. Take care of your emotional self and kind of just, nurture yourself. And then the moon trines Neptune in Pisces. This helps us really be on target with our intuition. It'll help us to have stronger hunches, especially about where we need to be emotionally to feel better, what can help our emotional state. Also, new insights into the collective could come about, and just a general, you can feel the energies of those around you easier and be able to maybe even tap into what they need to feel better as well. And then on March 10th, Moon conjuncts Jupiter in Cancer. And this is going to very much give us insights into what we can do to expand and bring abundance to our lives, what we can do to expand our knowledge or expand our horizons, maybe gain more experience. But it also can help us to hone in onto our feelings and follow those hunches, those areas where we could take a risk that would help us to gain all those things. And then the moon in Cancer squares Uranus in Aries. This is going to bring some sudden and shocking insights that could cause a little bit of upset to us, but it can help us to understand our needs or emotions a little better, and maybe some changes need to be made in our emotional sphere or even in our homes or in our family situation. So maybe even a family member can cause the upset that would, necessitate a change. All right, and then the moon opposes Pluto in Capricorn. And this is really going to, create those tensions that are, unconscious, create power struggles between maybe our inner and our outer worlds, also our home life and our career. It could also be parental related between the mother and the father, where, you know, you're dealing with family dynamics that you maybe have affected you in some way psychologically. So this helps to bring about the transformation that is necessary, more integration for yourself on how to find that balance between your two sides of yourself, really, that may have been, you know, handed down from your previous generations, your mom and dad. And then the moon trines Chiron in Pisces. This also could bring up some, emotional wounds that are related to the family, but it should be easier to heal at this time. There's a lot more easy flow between those two planets, or one's an asteroid. So this could help you to release that whole family dynamic thing that maybe you had issues with previously. And then Mercury in Aquarius squares Saturn in Scorpio, which is retrograde. So this is going to bring a sense of responsibility to our conversations with friends. Perhaps we have an obligation to talk to a friend, or we may need to help them bust through some of their fears or blocks, or we may have been asked by a friend to do something for them. And so, you know, you might have to sacrifice a little bit to help them out, or the situation kind of could just be where there's a feeling of weight upon it, or a feeling of responsibility about it. Another possibility with that square is that maybe there's a feeling of responsibility towards humanity, or possibly with your hopes, wishes, and dreams. There could also be a power struggle that occurs with an authority figure, maybe a conversation where maybe you say something a little bit off the wall, and it creates a little bit of tension between you and an authority figure. And on March 11th, the moon in Cancer creates a grand trine with the sun in Pisces and Saturn in Scorpio. This can help us to become more aware of what fears are holding us back, and how can we become more mature to overcome any obstacles that we face. Saturn is giving us a sense of responsibility to become the people we are meant to be in this world. And then the moon in Cancer squares Mars in Libra. So this could create a little bit of emotional moodiness, a little bit of tensions, could create arguments based off of, you know, maybe more subjective feelings that you might have, rather than something that would be more objective. It's going to maybe create a little bit of rifts in relationships. But you could also be able to express whatever feelings you have that are more subjective. That can really help to bring a balance in the relationship. And then the moon in Cancer creates a T-square with the North Node in Libra and the South Node in Aries. Yeah, that's kind of similar to what I just said, but basically there could be some emotional, outbursts that occur that could be reflective of what's happening in the relationship, whether it's somebody being maybe insensitive to your needs, or maybe one person's giving too much and one person's taking too much. There needs to be a balance here, and the moon in Cancer is going to help bring awareness to what needs to change. And then the moon moves into Leo, so our focus can move to creativity, using our emotions to create, nurturing our children, and also nurturing our romances. On March 12th, 2014, the moon in Leo opposes Venus in Aquarius. The moon in Leo may be having us crave more romance, while the Venus in Aquarius may be having us want more freedom. So there's kind of a push-pull effect here going on. Maybe one person is being more needing a little more space while the other person is needing a little more closeness. So whether it's, two different parts within yourself kind of creating this tension, or whether it's you and another person creating this tension, this is kind of the dynamic that, is happening. But there could be more objectivity in our relationships, and there could be more idealism in friendships, or more camaraderie in friendships. And it's a great time to focus on your creative energies and be able to find maybe a workable solution to help bring about a balance in that relationship dynamic. And then the moon in Leo trines Uranus and Aries. So through our creativity, we can find freedom and the ability to break through barriers. We could also use our creativity to maybe shake things up a little bit, kind of, shock people, but at the same time, it could be a good kind of shock to where it really brings insights. And we could also help our children to gain insights. And maybe our children are helping us to gain insights that are shocking at first, that can help us break free through limiting ideas. And then the moon in Leo creates a yod with Pluto in Capricorn and Chiron in Pisces. So Pluto in Capricorn and Chiron in Pisces are sextiling, and both of them are in conjuncting to the moon in Leo. So Pluto and Chiron are both very much healing, transformation and healing, and trying to bring awareness to hidden emotions. With the moon in Leo is so out there. You could really use that sense of drama and creativity to bring awareness to issues that are maybe even universal wounds that can help bring healing, that could be very creative and dramatic. And on March 13th, the Sun in Pisces trines Saturn in Scorpio. Now, this is going to help us to have more responsibility, a sense of responsibility, more concentration, and be able to get things done, especially in our more hidden realms even. We could do some dream work, we could do some deep transformations, but we can also move forward on any responsibilities we have and get things done in the physical realm as well. And the moon in Leo squares Saturn in Scorpio. And by the way, Saturn in Scorpio is retrograde. So the moon in Leo it's going to maybe have a sense of protest to getting responsibilities done. You may want to do something a little more fun, easygoing, but you also have that need to get something done looming over your head. So it actually would be a good idea to focus your energies on something creative. That's going to help bring the balance in, or the integration in there. And then the moon in Leo opposes Mercury in Aquarius, and this creates a T-square with Saturn. But we'll talk about moon in Leo opposing Mercury in Aquarius real quick. So moon in Leo is our, it's a way of expressing our emotions that's very dramatic, very creative, and you can, it also is, can be related to our relationships with children, and also our sense of romance. So when it's opposing Mercury in Aquarius is going to be, more conversation with friends, and also insights into our conscious processes, and also conversations about humanitarian causes or about our hopes, wishes, and dreams. So we could actually integrate a bit of creativity into our hopes, wishes, and dreams. We can nurture our dreams. But it also could be that, maybe it's like our relationships and our friendships are both vying for our time, which can create the tensions. But if you can maybe even bring people together and try to do something creative or productive for humanity, then it can be an integration that works out beautifully. With the T-square with Saturn, there's that subconscious responsibility weighing on us a little bit, and doing something productive can really help. Concentrating your energies into those creative projects that can help benefit humanity can really help to balance these energies. And that's it for the week. Thanks so much for watching. If you have any questions, feel free to ask. If you have any insights that you gain from these videos, I love to hear about them. Have a great week, and I'll talk to you next week.